Not worthy, and you are. Wendell's eyes darkened. You're a loser who can't even take care of his own wife. She made a huge mistake marrying you. With me, she can have everything she wants. Charlie's face turned cold. He lowered his voice and said, I'll give you two choices. 1, you're going to get down on your knees and apologize to Claire. In front of everyone, you will take back every word you just said. 2, I will completely bankrupt your family's company. Your call. Are you serious? Who the hell do you think you are? You're going to bankrupt my company? Wendell laughed wildly, looking at Charlie with pure disgust. He clearly didn't take him seriously. Are you delusional? How are you going to do that? Do you have any idea what my family's company is worth? Charlie was expressionless. He stared at Wendell for a moment as if he were looking at a child, then casually took out his phone and dialed Stephen. In 3 minutes, I want to see Wendell's company bankrupt, its assets liquidated, and its debts through the roof. Making a multi-billion-dollar company go bankrupt in 3 minutes? It was a total fantasy. Wendell stared at Charlie with a sneer. Damn, you really think you're something? Think you're some kind of superhero? Then Wendell said coldly, Loser, stop pretending. I'll give you two choices, too. 1, you kneel down and apologize to me, then divorce Claire immediately. 2, I'll get a few guys to wipe you off the face of the earth. Then you can watch me and Claire be all lovey-dovey. The choice is yours. You have 1 minute. Charlie looked down at his phone. You have 1 minute left. Are you sure you can't be saved? Screw you. You have 30 seconds to think about it. If you don't get on your knees, I will make you regret this for the rest of your life, Wendell said, his voice dripping with contempt. 20 seconds. 10 seconds. 5 seconds. Time's up. Don't blame me for being cruel. You're the loser who brought this on yourself. Wendell straightened his collar, then motioned to a few of his bodyguards, ready to take care of Charlie. But at that exact moment, Wendell's cell phone rang. Wendell was taken aback. He saw it was his father calling and quickly answered. Dad, I'm at the party. Are you here yet? On the other end of the line, Wendell's father was screaming. You idiot! Who did you piss off? What have you done? All our shareholders are dumping stock like crazy. Our stock has dropped more than 90%. Then his father yelled again. The bank is calling in all our loans. All of our partners just pulled out and won't pay us. Our cash flow is gone. The only thing left is bankruptcy and liquidation. Listening to the voice on the phone, the color drained from Wendell's face. Cold sweat dripped down his forehead. Our family is finished. Completely finished. Wendell wanted to ask what was happening, but then he heard police sirens wailing through the phone. It was followed by the sound of a door crashing open and a police officer telling his father to cooperate with an investigation. He went completely limp. The phone slipped from his hand and shattered on the ground. His legs gave out, and he collapsed to his knees in front of Charlie. A gust of wind blew past, but it was nothing compared to the chill in his heart. His bodyguards saw this and froze, completely stunned. They didn't move an inch. Wendell was terrified. He whispered to Charlie, Who are you? You did this, didn't you? The crowd of onlookers was just as shocked. Wendell takes one phone call, and suddenly he's on his knees in front of the Wilson family's son-in-law. What was going on? Charlie looked down at him, leaned in, and said in a low voice, I gave you a choice. You just chose the wrong one. I know I was wrong. I'm sorry. Please, just let me go. This has nothing to do with you. I never touched her. I had nothing to do with the Grant Group contract. I made it all up. I'm begging you. Please forgive me and my family. Wendell kept bowing and scraping on the ground, begging for forgiveness. He never could have imagined that the Wilson family's live-in son-in-law had this kind of power. One phone call, and his family was destroyed. When he finally lifted his head and looked at Charlie's face, he realized that this ordinary-looking man was more terrifying than any demon. Someone who could bankrupt his family in minutes was not someone you could afford to cross. Charlie shook his head. You should be grateful. At least I'm letting you live. Otherwise, your whole family would be dead." As soon as Charlie said this, Wendell's face went white, and his entire body started shaking uncontrollably. Charlie looked at him and said coldly, "Let me spell it out for you. I am that superhero from the internet. If you don't want to die, you'll keep my identity a secret. Otherwise, you and your father won't be around tomorrow morning." With that, Charlie patted Wendell's cheek and walked into the hall without a second glance. Wendell just collapsed to the ground, too scared to do anything about the humiliating gesture. When he saw Charlie walk into the hall, Wendell scrambled inside after him. He frantically looked around until he spotted Clare. He crawled over to her, got on his knees at her feet, and started bowing and scraping, crying, "Clare, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have spread those rumors. The M. Grand Group project, that had nothing to do with me. I made it all up. Please, just let me go." Clare was completely stunned by this. She quickly backed away, bumping right into a warm embrace. Clare looked back and saw it was Charlie holding her. Charlie had spotted Clare the moment he walked in. She'd clearly taken great care getting ready and looked absolutely stunning, like a star shining in the crowd. When he saw Wendell rushing toward her, Charlie stepped in and caught her in his arms to keep her from falling, shooting a furious look at Wendell. The look was enough to terrify Wendell, who scrambled away on his hands and knees, desperate not to make Charlie even angrier. Clare asked confused, "What's wrong with him?" Charlie held her close and whispered, "I think he's lost his mind. Just ignore him." Even though they were husband and wife, they had never been this close before. Feeling the warmth of Charlie's arms around her, Clare's ears turned bright red. She quickly pulled away from Charlie's embrace and stammered, Chairman Wade from the M. Grand Group should be here. I should go find him." Just as Wendell was running off, Harold walked in with his sister Wendy and her fiancé Gerald White. With Gerald was another young guy in expensive clothes. He actually looked a little like Gerald. Harold ran right into Wendell and said quickly, "Hey, Wendell! I just got here and heard something happened to your family. Is that true?" Wendell looked completely defeated. He pushed Harold aside, muttering, "It's over. It's all over." Harold asked, looking concerned, "Mr. Jones, what's wrong with you?" Wendell just shook his head, terrified. He didn't dare say a word. He was sure that if he said the wrong thing, he'd be a dead man on the street by tomorrow. So Wendell yanked his arm out of Harold's grasp and ran off, completely hopeless. Harold watched him go and sighed. Damn, I guess his family's really finished. That was fast, right? Everything was fine yesterday, and now they're bankrupt. Then Harold spotted Charlie and Clare and got a nasty idea. He rushed over to Clare. "Clare, let me introduce you to a very important guest. This is Gerald's cousin, Fred White, the eldest son of the White family." "Fred, this is my cousin, Clare," Harold said to Fred with a fawning look on his face. Fred's eyes had been glued to Clare ever since he walked in. As soon as Harold introduced them, he quickly held out his hand. "Hello, Clare. I've heard for a long time how beautiful the Wilson family's daughter is. Now that I see you, I can say the rumors don't do you justice." Charlie's eyes flashed with annoyance. His wife was beautiful, and it was getting really old dealing with all the flies buzzing around her, one after another. So Charlie stepped in, shook Fred's hand first, and said coldly, "Hello, I'm Clare's husband." "You?" Fred looked Charlie up and down with obvious disgust. He pulled his hand back quickly and said with a sneer, "I didn't realize Clare was married. What a waste. Like a beautiful flower planted in a pile of cow crap." Wendy quickly jumped in. "Fred, this loser is just a live-in son-in-law for our family. He doesn't have a job or any skills." Then she gave Fred a deliberate wink and added, "Fred, once I marry Gerald, we'll all be family. We should definitely see more of each other." Fred knew exactly what she was getting at. She was giving him the green light to go after Clare. He smiled and said, "Miss Clare is as beautiful as an angel. I would love nothing more than to get to know her better." Just then, Charlie saw his mother-in-law, Elaine, and his father-in-law, Jacob, walking over. Elaine rushed right up to Claire and said, "Claire, have you heard? The Jones family is bankrupt." "What?" Claire asked, shocked. "When did that happen?" "Just now," Elaine sighs. "I was hoping you'd eventually divorce Charlie and get with Wendell, but I guess that's out the window now." Charlie was completely exasperated. Was his mother-in-law really this clueless? Didn't she have any idea who she was really dealing with when it came to her son-in-law? When Fred saw Elaine, he rushed over and introduced himself. "You must be Claire's mother, right? I'm Gerald's cousin, Fred. You're so beautiful, it's no wonder you have such a gorgeous daughter like Claire." When Elaine heard that Fred was not only Gerald's cousin, but also the eldest son of the wealthy White family, her eyes lit up. She said enthusiastically, "Yes, I'm Claire's mother. Are you and Claire friends?" Fred nodded and smiled. "You could say that. We only just met today, actually." Elaine was overjoyed. She nodded quickly and said, "Well, let's all find a place to sit. Don't just stand there." "Mr. White, you young people should definitely get to know each other better." "Mom!" Claire exclaimed, cutting her mother off before she could say anything else. Elaine opened her mouth to say more, but Claire touched her arm and motioned toward the stage, reminding her to pay attention. Just then, Mrs. Wilson stepped into the spotlight. She looked around the room, beaming, then stood at the microphone and smiled. "First of all, on behalf of the Wilson family, I'd like to welcome all of our dear friends and partners to our banquet tonight. Next, please join me in welcoming the Vice Chairman of the Emgrand Group, Miss Doris Young." The spotlight instantly swung over, illuminating a woman in the front row. Dressed in a black evening gown, her perfect figure was on full display. Under the lights, she was as dazzling as a fairy, and every man in the room couldn't help to stare. The Vice Chairman of the Emgrand Group. An incredible beauty! Either one of those titles alone was enough to capture everyone's attention. Doris stood and gave a polite nod to the crowd. When her eyes found Charlie, they lingered for a moment before she looked away. Mrs. Wilson continued her speech. "Today, I want to give a special thanks to the Emgrand Group for entrusting such an important project to the Wilson family. I promise, the Wilson family will give it our all to live up to the trust Emgrand has placed in us. And secondly, we want to introduce you all to an outstanding young member of our Wilson family. If it weren't for this person, we would have never secured this partnership with Emgrand. Also, after discussing it as a group, we've decided to nominate this person as the Wilson Group's new director. They will be solely responsible for our project with the Emgrand Group." Elaine said excitedly, "Oh, Claire, it's your turn to go on stage." Even though Claire was prepared to go up, she was still nervous. Charlie immediately gave her an encouraging look. Harold looked over at a thrilled Claire and couldn't help but let a smirk creep onto his face. Mrs. Wilson also looked at their table and said with a smile, "Please welcome the new director of the Wilson Group, Harold Wilson." Claire froze. She looked to the side in disbelief, only to see Harold proudly walking up to the stage. Charlie's eyes went cold. What a classic bait and switch! After using Claire, the Wilson family just threw her aside without a single thought for her feelings. Claire's eyes immediately turned red and tears welled up. Without a second thought, she stood up and ran out of the room, not looking back. She had been so happy when she arrived, and now she was completely devastated. Charlie watched her go, his face growing even colder. Bullying his wife? They were asking for trouble. Meanwhile, Harold stood on stage and said proudly, "Thank you for the company's trust in me. I will definitely work hard as director, and I will absolutely complete the project the Emgrand Group has given us." Mrs. Wilson nodded, satisfied. She took the microphone back and said, "There is one more important announcement for this banquet. We are fortunate to have with us tonight the new chairman of the Emgrand Group. Please give your warmest applause and welcome Chairman Wade." The room erupted in thunderous applause. Every guest here tonight came to see the new chairman of the Emgrand Group. Everyone was dying to get a look at him. People were whispering among themselves, trying to guess who would stand up. Someone even said, "I bet the mysterious chairman of the Emgrand Group is the same person as that mystery hero who went viral online from that thing at Rare Earth. I think that's totally possible." The silhouette of that hero didn't look like anyone from around Oris Hill. Oh my God. If that's true, then the chairman of the Emgrand Group is the most powerful and richest person in all of Oris Hill, isn't he? I can't wait to see who it really is. Amid the wild applause, as everyone stared with anticipation, Charlie slowly stood up, a cold expression on his face.